coming for a splash. 3, 2, 1, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, Turn 3 Racing Network, Sunday morning US IndyCar League action presented to you by StickQuik organizers and fasteners. This is race number 7, Triple Crown race number 2 in the season for these drivers. AJ Burton, only driver eligible out there to chase after those extra points should he be able to pull off the win here today in the second Triple Crown race. One more race in the Triple Crown chase after that. This is the King of the Speedway Series for the US IndyCar League this season. Nothing but speedways, no road courses this time around. And today we are here for a very, very special cause. Today's race is the Help Chole Be Cancer Free Michigan 200 from Michigan International Speedway. There you see it. Link at the top of the screen for you. Go on over there to your web browsers. Google, type that on in. Head on over and help out a great cause for a great young lady. Every little bit helps, even if it's 50 cents, $1, anything helps and would be greatly appreciated. Gonna throw your points up for you real fast. Points looking a little something like this after last week's race. Graham Bunyan had some issues. He's going to fall behind in the points behind Ryan Bowles, now 30 points. There you see Jason Lowe, the Naked Clown, that 004. Sitting in third in the points right now. Robert Mitchell in fourth. Richard Kelball rounds out the top 5 in your points. And AJ Burton sitting right around 13th position right now, even after winning last week's race. He still finds himself behind the 8 ball, but that's because he has some real-life commitments to take care of, so you can't fault him for that. Have just about 3 minutes left in happy hour here, so we're going to see if we can't get a word in with one of the drivers that has been very instrumental in the sponsoring of today's race, and that would be Jason Lowe. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I sure do, and I got my wife Tiffany here with me to help keep my facts straight.
I completely understand, bud. Working just about 3 minutes left here in happy hour, so just wanted to talk to you for a minute. Wanted to get the background and a little bit of the story here for today's race, the Help Chole Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. So, bud, the mic's yours, and have at it.
Well, I live in St. Augustine, Florida. Good little surfing town. Grew up surfing with my good friend Brooke Dean, his older brother Myson, and all of us did a lot of surfing together. And at one point, when I was actually homeless my senior year of high school, his parents took me in and let me live with them for a while. Just had a little weird situation, but they took me right in, so I feel like I'm part of the family. And just recently, his 19-year-old daughter, Chloe, who's had some health issues for a couple years that were undetermined, she discovered she has a real rare form of liver cancer. Only 1 in 5 million people that get liver cancer get this type of cancer, and my wife will tell us it's
fibrolamellar carcinoma.
Yeah, extremely rare. And once we made that discovery, it was determined she's going to need to go out of state for treatment. Brooke is an artist, a painter, and a tattoo artist. His wife works a couple different jobs, but we just knew they were going to need some help, mostly with the traveling expenses. And so my wife started the GoFundMe page for Chloe. And when Robert found out about it, he pretty much immediately offered to put this deal on as far as the race today, just to raise awareness for the GoFundMe. We've done really well. We're so proud and so grateful for all the people that have donated. And that's what this is all about, is just spreading the word and getting Chloe some help.
10-4, my man. Well, I notice a couple drivers out there sporting some special paint schemes for today's race, so we'll be sure to get all those on camera. And Jason, I do appreciate you taking the time before a big race like this to come up and speak about something that's so near and dear to you and close to the heart. And we wish you the best out there on track, and elbows up, bud.
Hey, thank you. And my wife did add the GoFundMe link to the comment section of the broadcast, so anyone watching can see it.
All right, do appreciate that as well. Tell her I said thank you for taking care of that for me.
Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for all that you do for us, buddy.
There you have it. That was Jason Lowe bringing you a little bit of the backstory for today's Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200. Here with just about 2 seconds left before we head on over to qualifying. These drivers going to strap themselves in to try to lay down the fastest lap that they can, try to put themselves on the provisional pole. Yellow flag is out on happy hour. We have switched to qualifying, and it looks like a few drivers already out on track. Mike West jumping out on track very early, coming out now. Looks like a few other drivers. Ryan Bowles and his 25 machine, the 131 of Greg Forsyth, is also out on track. So those drivers jumping out as soon as they were able to. We'll drop down your qualifying order, looking a little something just like this, as we watch the 10 of Mike West head off into turn 3 on his up-to-speed lap. We will check out a few other cars here. Just about 4 minutes left in qualifying. So this qualifying session's going to get underway and over with faster than you know it. Let's take a look now back here with Jason Lowe in the 004 here. He is on screen going just across the start-finish line, beginning his timed lap. Nobody laying down a solid lap just yet. A few drivers have begun their laps. Mike West will be the first to lay down a timed lap. I believe he should be. Yes, he does. Goes to the top of the board, but that's going to change as we've got Robert Mitchell out on track, Rick Lovison, A.J. Burton, Howard Livingston. There is a ton of drivers out there on track right now. Jason Lowe crossing the line for the first time. He's going to slot in the 4th position. We'll jump up now with the 75 of A.J. Burton, see where he shakes out for his first timed lap. Will Stearns in the 306 to the top of the board. Scratch that. Ray Lenning now takes over the provisional pole position with 3 minutes left here in qualifying for the Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200. Burton crosses the line for the first time. slotting in only in the 10th position. Looks like Robert Mitchell in the 31. He goes to the top of the board. He's going to bring it to a stop. Now riding with the 19 of Chad Pierce. What can he do on his second time lap? Running in 9th right now, crossing the line this time by. Where's he going to shake out? Looks like he's only good enough to get it to 7th. Slot back to 8th now. We'll jump back with the 24 of Rick Kelball as he makes his qualifying attempt yet to put in a time lap. Graham Bunyan, David Zaleski, and Rick Kelball. Only 3 drivers to not put in a timed lap just yet. And the 101 of Graham Bunyan has fired off of pit road. David Zaleski now jumping in the car, heading out and off of pit road. So we will have all 16 drivers putting in their qualifying laps as we work very close to time to start heading down track side. Minute and 30 seconds remaining in qualifying for today's Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200. Looks like Kelball going to cross the line and be able to slot up into the 5th position. We'll now jump back with the 101 of Graham Bunyan as he puts down his first time lap here. Coming down the back stretch for the first time, up to speed. Through 3 and 4, it looks pretty smooth, running a higher line here. Gonna cut cross down right next to the grass, crossing the line. First lap, where's he gonna shake out at? 15th. He's gonna have to improve significantly if he wants to take away that pole position. And we're gonna ride here, see where he shakes out. See if he's able to improve that or if he's gonna stay right where he's at before we head on down trackside for our pre-race festivities and singing of our national anthem. Bunyan off of 4 for his second time. From 16th all the way to 2nd, not able to get AJ Burton off the pole position. So now we're going to take a little moment. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere as we head down trackside for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Back live here on Turn 3 Racing Network, bringing you the Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200 here today. Cars lined up on pit road, ready to fire things off here today for Triple Crown race number 2 Your starting order looks a little something like this. Starting pole position, the 75 of A.J. Burton. To his outside will be the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Row number 2 here today, the 31 of Robert Mitchell and the 13 of Howard Livingston. Row number 3, the 64 of Rick Kelball and the 24 of... Oops, I got that wrong. Rick Lovison is in the 64, and Rick Kelball is in the 24. Yeah, messed that all up, didn't I? Row number 4 here today, to 306 of Will Stearns and the 07 of David Zaleski. Row number 5 today, the 004 of Jason Lowe, followed by the 16 of Ray Linning. Row number 6, the 131 of Craig Forsyth, and the 15 of Danny J. Row number 7, the 6 of Jeff Murray, and the 19 of Chad Pierce. Row 8, the 10 of Mike West, and the 25 of Ryan Bowles. That's gonna finish out your starting order for today's race. The Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200, and we are set to fire things off. Pace car lights are out, and we are set to go green flag racing once again. Pace car down and away, field coming off of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air, and A.J. Burton fires off fast. Well and away, Graham Bunyan right behind him. Robert Mitchell just behind, running in the 3rd position. Those front 3 have absolutely took off from the field so far. My goodness, look at that. Those 3 drivers all over each other as they head down the back stretch for the first time. Now Bunyan to the point. Mitchell trying to work his way by. Can he make the pass before they get back to the line? It's going to be close. Give the lap to Robert Mitchell, starting from 3rd up to 1st. Great job at the start of the race for him to get down well and away. Now he leads the field off of turn number 2. Everything looks nice and smooth, nice and pretty through the field, as we now have a few other drivers joining this battle. Howard Livingston, Rick Kelball right there. That top 5 all stuck together once again, and that's going to allow 6th, 7th, 8th. They're going to slowly begin to close back in on this field. Do have 3 drivers a little bit off pace. Chad Pierce, Mike West, Jeff Murray. They're back already 3 seconds behind the field. Maybe taking it a little bit easy. Fuel strategy may come into play. As it's 200 miles here today, 100 laps around this 2-mile track, and these cars are going to be wound up all race long as we cross the line once again for lap 3, and the entire field pretty much grouped back together with each other. And I tell you what, while it's early, why don't we go ahead and give you a little turn 3, turn it up. What do you say? Absolutely love those camera shots, as we've got a lot of battles. 3 wide right there. coming through turn number 2. They get it sorted out. My goodness, a lot of great racing action already underway here today for the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. The US IndyCar League presented to you by StickQuik Organizers and Fasteners. Big shout out to StickQuik and all the guys over there. Great products, great things over there on the webpage. Go check them out as well. Man, I tell you what, those top 3, they haven't stopped chasing after each other just yet. Oh, real close there between Ryan Bowles and Howard Livingston. Bowles having to go a little bit higher on the exit of 2 than maybe you wanted to. And for every lap of green flag racing done out there today, Jason Lowe in that 004, as well as Howard Livingston in the 13, they have both pledged to donate $1 for every green flag lap that is run out there today. So looking forward to having a flag-to-flag race as we have had so many other times here in the US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik. So big hopes for that. That could go a very long way. Do want to say thank you and appreciate anybody and everybody that's been over to the GoFundMe page. There you see the link at the top of your screen. Every little bit helps. Every little bit counts. And help us help a great young lady out. Lap number 10, Robert Mitchell still at the front of the field. He has led every single lap out there today, started in the 3rd position, but was able to get a great start past Graham Bunyan, past your pole sitter AJ Burton, and take his machine to the front, and that is where it has stayed. The entire field still right there, all over each other. Looks like we do have 2 drivers still off the pace just a little bit. The 19 of Chad Pierce and the 6 of Jeff Murray. They find themselves about a second behind the lead pack. There you see these 2 drivers right here kind of just hanging out by themselves, just a little bit off pace. The field's still right in front of them, but they are not right there. Meanwhile, back up at the front, look at this hornet's nest. None of these drivers giving up battles for almost every position. Back off of turn number 2 now. Side by side is AJ Burton and Howard Livingston. Those drivers going to have to sort it out before they get to turn 3. Now Burton digs to the bottom. Going to be side by side with Bunyan for second. Now 2-3 wide almost for second position. We cross the line to begin lap number 12. And we are, lap number 13. Sorry about that, folks. And we are still under green flag conditions. 88 laps left to go here today in the US IndyCar League. Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200 live on Turn 3 Racing Network from Michigan International Speedway. I want to say thank you everybody out there joining us here today. So we do appreciate everybody joining us each and every week here on Turn 3 Racing Network, so you can see great racing action like this. Battle up at the front for the lead. The 25 of Ryan Bowles looking for the pass on Robert Mitchell. Side by side through 3 and 4. Bowles gonna slide up. No, stays at the bottom of the track. Looks like he's gonna have the momentum. Back at the line, new race leader, the 25 of Ryan Bowles, goes to the top of the board. Robert Mitchell now sliding in second. AJ Burton third, put Bunyan back to fourth. 15 laps so far on this green flag run. Will we stay green the entire way? That's what we want to see. That's what you want to see. And don't forget, that'll be another $200 in the bag or in the bank for Chole to help her out with all the expenses incurred with the particular type of liver cancer that she's fighting and battling right now. So if you haven't already, there you see at top of your screen the link, the way to get to the GoFundMe page. Every little bit helps. Every donation matters. And before you do, once again, thank you, and we appreciate every little bit that you can help us with. Would be absolutely welcome and overwhelming for Chole and her family. Do want to send a special shout out to them. We will be thinking about you guys over the next few weeks. And back to the point once again. Digging on the bottom is Robert Mitchell in that 31. He does not want to give up the race lead. He wants to keep it right there with him, right there in his pocket. And now Ryan Bowles says, no, sir, I'm going to take it back. He digs back down on the bottom. That's going to bring A.J. Burton right there on the gearbox of Robert Mitchell as they work their way off of turn 2, back down the backstretch. Cars fanning out all the way through the field for position. Your top 13 drivers still within 1.5 seconds of each other, so the entire field still grouped up, still has a shot. This is anyone's game as you see Ryan Bowles duck back down to the bottom once again, digging on the inside of turn number 1 and 2. Gonna make the pass pretty easily around Robert Mitchell as they work their way back down the backstretch one more time. Bowles back at the point. Livingston right there on Graham Bunyan's gearbox. Ooh, things getting a little dicey up there at the front. Ryan Bowles now moves back to the inside looking for the lead once again. And I tell you what, let's go ahead and let's jump to our turn 3 onboard camera down there on board with the 75 of A.J. Burton running in the 3rd position. Here AJ switching gears up there to, I believe, probably 6th gear. Down into 5th gear now. Right there on the gearbox of Ryan Bowles as Bowles makes a move back to the inside on Robert Mitchell. Man, that is just action, very close, very racy. Out there on track here today. Well, we had 16 cars start today's race. We still have 16 cars running the race. Everybody's still on the lead lap, so things looking nice and clean out there today for the Help Chole Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. Back down the backstretch once again. Digging on the inside is the 25 of Ryan Bowles. He's going to make the pass once again on Robert Mitchell, put him back to the front. We've had a few lead changes, but very few leaders. Only 2 race leaders so far here today, Robert Mitchell and Ryan Bowles. Your pole sitter, A.J. Burton, man running 3rd right there on 3rd line. Maybe if I could talk, I could tell you what's up. All right, so we're going to hit rewind on that. Stop. Record play in 3, 2. A.J. Burton running in 3rd. Your pole sitter never got back around to the line as the race leader, so we have still only had those 2 at the front battling side by side for the race lead. Robert Mitchell and Ryan Bowles putting on a great show early here today. And boy, oh boy, that camera's behind the wall. That's very interesting. to say the least. Ryan Bowles now with a little bit of a gap. Could this be the time in the race where the tires are starting to take effect, where the dirty air is starting to make that aero push a little more prevalent? And just as I say that, well, Robert Mitchell back around Ryan Bowles to retake the race lead. Now Bowles and Burton with a huge run down the back stretch, back to the gearbox, and around goes Bowles once again. Do have some comers and goers. Looks like the 13 of Howard Livingston has dropped from that 5th position back to 7th. Trying to fend off the 15 of Danny J for that 7th position. And Craig Forsyth in that 131 machine, he has driven from a little further back in the field up to 5th. Right there, breathing down the neck of Graham Bunyan. Graham running in 4th position. Running 2 special paint schemes is Graham running a variation. There you go, is the better word, of Ben Wallace's normal livery. Ben not here, so paying some respect and homage to him out there on track, and then also throwing on the Shamrocks through the side pod there for Graham, supporting today's race. The Help Chloe B Cancer-Free Michigan 200 live here on Turn 3 Racing Network for the US IndyCar League, presented to you by StickQuik Organizers and Fasteners. Head on over there to StickQuik.com. Check them out. A lot of great products over there. And while you're out checking things out, why don't you go to that GoFundMe address right there, top of your screen. Can't miss it. Help us out. Every little bit helps. We do appreciate it, and thank you for any and all the support that any of you have sent out already. Much, much appreciated. Robert Mitchell appreciating that arrow, the toe that you can get back to the lead. And now Bowles, he's going to go back to the lead once again. These drivers just back and forth, mixing it up. Nobody really taking charge of this race just yet. David Zaleski and Craig Forsyth. Let's look at this battle. These two drivers have been all over each other. Jeff Murray, my goodness, Jeff was running towards the rear of the field. Now there you see him right there just behind Danny J in the 8th position, as Howard Livingston has now fell all the way back to the 9th spot. Bowles looking to the inside once again on Robert Mitchell. Going to take that spot back away. Danny J now digging to the inside of David Zaleski. Going to make the slide job work. Yes, he does. And that's going to allow Jeff Murray to poke his nose in the inside. Now he's going to slot back in line going into turn number 1. Ryan Bowles, your race leader, digging on the bottom of the racetrack right there at the yellow line. Back down the back stretch with Mitchell in tow. Burton right behind him. Bunyan rounds out your top 4. And in 5th, Craig Forsyth in that 131 machine, but Danny J is coming on strong. Oh, and Jeff Murray goes down pit road. I am not sure if that was intentional. We'll take a look. Everything seems okay. My goodness, it looked like it may have been a moment, but it looks like everything's fine. So maybe a planned pit stop here very early for Murray, as Will Stearns also on pit road. We stay green flag racing, lap 32 out of 100 here today. 69 laps left to go, 68 when we cross the line this time for the Help Chloe B Cancer-Free Michigan 200. More drivers hitting pit road. The 24 of Rick Kelball has brought his machine down to pit road. Everything seems to be in order for him. Looks like the other drivers down and away. Also, Jeff Murray had a little bit slower of a stop, so maybe an issue. And oh, big moment here for Mitchell and Bowles. Wow, that was very close getting onto pit road for those two drivers. We'll rejoin your race leaders. Graham Bunyan now assuming the race lead under green flag pit stops. Robert Mitchell, Ray Lenning, Ryan Bowles, Chad Pierce, all on pit road this time by. AJ Burton digging on the bottom, gonna make the pass on Bunyan through 3 and 4, and it looks like we have another driver hitting pit road. That's David Zaleski. He's going to hit pit road this time by. Will the undercut work? Will it pay off here? Pitting early for Robert Mitchell and Ryan Bowles. Back through 3 and 4 once again. Looks like Craig Forsyth peeling off the track down to pit road. Jason Lowe also on pit road. Howard Livingston pit road. Danny J, Mike West. Those drivers also go down pit road. The only two yet to make their pit stops are the two gentlemen that you see on screen. These two drivers yet to make their pit stops, and now they're going to bring it to pit road this time by. So we'll take a look, keep our eye right here on Ryan Bowles. He is the first car 1 lap down, going to pass the race leaders who are on pit road this time by, put himself back on to the lead lap. And does he have enough to get back around and in front of these drivers? Robert Mitchell with some issues had to make a very long pit stop. It looks like now finds himself just back onto the lead lap, I do believe, running in the 15th position. So tough break there for Robert, as he was one of your race leaders. As you see AJ Burton joining the racing surface once again. And my goodness, I think things have shaken out. Craig Forsyth battling with AJ Burton and Ryan Bowles. Oh my goodness, Jason Lowe in that 004, he's right there as well. All of these drivers all over each other. That's second, third, fourth, fifth. And Graham Bunyan has been able to pull away from the field through that green flag pit stop. He is out to a 1.3 second race lead as AJ Burton now moving to the inside of Craig Forsyth. Ryan Bowles looking to the inside now, as well as Jason Lowe rounds out your top 5 right there just behind Craig. And all these drivers have just about the same amount of laps on their tires. Ryan Bowles about 2 laps older, so we'll have to wait for the tire differences to really take effect. Looking back through the field, a lot of close little battles going on. We've got another little battle right here, a 3-way battle between Mike West, David Zaleski, Will Stearns, and I mean, you can even throw Howard Livingston into that mix. A 4-way battle here as we cross the line to begin lap 40 out of 100 here today for the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free 200 live from Michigan International Speedway. You are watching the US IndyCar League presented by StickQuik Organizers and Fasteners. Watching the 4-way battle from 6th to 9th position. Rick Lovison in the 64 slowly closing in on this battle. But as we start to have the leaders group themselves back together, we'll go back up here up front. Graham Bunyan, your race leader, trying to hold back the 25 of Ryan Bowles. AJ Burton's just behind him. Craig Forsyth right there as well. Once again, we've got a great cause here today. The Help Chloe B Cancer Free Michigan 200. Two of your drivers in the field, Jason Lowe, Howard Livingston, have pledged to donate $1 for every green flag lap of racing that we run here today on Turn 3 Racing Network. And we have ran 42 green flag laps already, so that's $84 already heading to the GoFundMe page for the Help Chloe B Cancer Free Michigan 200. And yeah, I mean, it just enough can't be said about the ton of support that we've already received. Do want to thank each and every one of you out there for helping us along the way for such a great cause. And yeah, just enough can't be said about the community that we involve ourselves with, the people that we have as our friends, family, and viewers. Want to thank each and every one of you from all of us here at Turn 3 Racing Network, as well as the US IndyCar League and StickQuik. Thank you very much for helping out with everything you have so far already. But let's not stop there. Let's keep on going. Let's give this young lady and her family all the help and support that we can. Battle for the race lead still raging on. Graham Bunyan had it now. A.J. Burton wants it, dropping to the bottom, back to the point once again. Here goes Burton. Burton was your pole sitter. Only has 3 laps in the bank for him, but he is trying to change that up. Just as I say that, Graham Bunyan with a great run moves back around and back to the point, and look for Burton now to drop to the bottom. He's going to get to the line first. Put another one in the bag for Burton. And Robert Mitchell, he is very close to being in a lot of danger here today for the Help Chloe B Cancer Free Michigan 200. Finds himself about 30 seconds off of your race leaders, who are battling it out on track right now. Don't get me wrong. These drivers are slowing each other up with this battle, but they are still laying down some tremendous laps out there today. Gonna look back for a battle for the 10th position really fast here. Check in on this. This is Ray Lenning, Danny J, Rick Lovison. These 3 drivers battling it out for the 10th position. They're about 3.5 seconds behind David Zaleski and his 07 machine, running in the 9th spot. So we'll rejoin this battle here in a few more laps, see if it shakes itself out as we jump back up front with your race leaders still at the point. A.J. Burton mixing it up back and forth with Graham Bunyan and Ryan Bowles now looking to the outside. Nothing there, nothing to be had. Gonna fall back in line as Graham Bunyan now jumps out to the bottom, gonna make the pass through 3 and 4 fairly easily. Back to the point once again goes Bunyan. And man, we're gonna drop down your running order because there is small battles all through the field right now. And it is so hard to keep up because, I mean, you see it right here at the front. One corner, one driver's leading the race, another corner as we see another pass for the race lead. Graham Bunyan going to the bottom on the back, stretching through 3 and 4, but that's going to allow A.J. Burton to get a run here on the front stretch. And just like that, in one lap, we've had 2 lead changes as A.J. Burton leads the field back to the stripe once again as we begin lap number 50 out of 100 here today, right on the halfway point for the Help Chloe B Cancer Free Michigan 200 here today for US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik. This is race number 7, Triple Crown race number 2, and A.J. Burton, he has got to win this thing and win one more if he wants to get that extra 20 points at the end of the racing season for winning the Triple Crown. A little bit of house cleaning really fast. 16 drivers took to today's grid. 16 drivers still out on track. Jeff Murray in his 6 machine finds himself the one and only car 1 lap down. Jeff didn't get off to the greatest of starts, moved up through the field, was inside of the top 10, and then had a moment coming to pit road, and that put him behind the 8 ball and 1 lap down. But I mean, this thing isn't over. We still got a lot of racing to be had. And, well, one of those little pesky yellow flags could end and change the dynamics of this race. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. Hopefully we don't see it, but you never quite know what you're going to get. This is still about a 5-car battle here for the first position, as they work their way down the back stretch. Now Graham Bunyan looking to the inside of Burton through 3 and 4. Once again going to take over that spot as Burton positions himself for a run back at Bunyan to the stripe. He's going to be able to make that pass once again at the line, and just in front of them, early race leader Robert Mitchell very much in danger, going a lap down now, as you've seen him just there in the foreground, not too far out in front of this field. So Robert he's one of the drivers that would like to see a caution, but doesn't want to see the caution, if that makes any sense. All of the drivers out here on track today wanting this thing to go green flag to checkered flag without any incidents, without any cautions. Try to help the cause and help the donations. Howard Livingston as well as Jason Lowe both have pledged $1 per green flag lap. Right now, we are working 55 laps into this 100-lap race. 45 laps left to go. So if we can keep this thing green all the way to the end, that's an extra $200 going over there to the GoFundMe for Chloe and her family. So excellent skills, talent being shown out there on track right now. Your top 5 still running within 0.7 of a second of each other as they slowly close the distance in between them and Robert Mitchell. Mitchell in danger of going 1 lap down, and now look, digging on the outside of Bunyan comes Ryan Bowles, almost into the wall. Big moment there for Bowles as he was carrying the momentum. Looks like maybe he got a little bit of aero push there, washing up behind that 101 of Graham Bunyan. Now Bowles utilizing that middle to high lane through 1 and 2. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Now Robert Mitchell right there in front of the race leaders. Ooh. A.J. Burton going to the apron for a second, got the left side tire on it and got a little bit shaky. That could have been a very, very big moment as these drivers all snaking down the back stretch trying to jockey for position. Getting the run on Robert Mitchell now is A.J. Burton diving to the inside. That's going to put Mitchell 1 lap down now. Graham Bunyan has to deal with Robert Mitchell, has to try to get by him and do away with him as quickly as possible to stay right there on the gearbox of that 75. slotting just up in front of Robert Mitchell, almost 3 wide there, coming through turns 1 and 2. Ooh, drivers snaking, weaving down the back stretch. AJ Burton looks to the inside of Graham Bunyan. Now Ryan Bowles digging right next to that yellow line. Robert Mitchell down 1 lap in his 31 machine after leading 19 laps earlier in today's Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200. He finds himself 1 lap down, but still able to run right there with your race leaders. Jason Lowe in his 004 running in the 4th position, looking to the inside of Robert Mitchell. Now there you see Mitchell right up next to that outside wall as Jason Lowe tries to get by him on the bottom. Does have a little bit of help from Craig Forsyth just behind him in his 131. Now up on the back stretch in front of Robert Mitchell goes Jason Lowe, and now Craig Forsyth looking to see if he can make that pass as well as we work our way back off a turn 4. Your top 3, Graham Bunyan, AJ Burton, Ryan Bowles stepping away just a little bit. I want to say stepping away, I mean only 0.2 of a second out in front of the man on screen, the center of action, the 004 of Jason Lowe. He's putting on one heck of a drive out there today in the Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200. As you heard pre-race from Jason, a friend of the family, something he holds very near and dear to his heart, and he's going out there and absolutely putting on a great show here today for a great cause. Lap machine of Jeff Murray trying to stay up near the top of the racetrack, up and out of the way. Looks like all the leaders going to get by Murray without any issues. Now Jason Lowe looking to the inside. That is going to be a battle here shortly. Scratch that. Jeff Murray is now being scored 2 laps down. Robert Mitchell still holding on to that lucky dog position should we have a late race caution. Looks like the 24 of Rick Kelball coming to pit road for the 2nd time here today, as these drivers are inching closer and closer to needing to hit pit road for their 2nd green flag pit stop. Still battling now side by side for the 3rd spot. Look at Jason Lowe go, digging on the inside of Ryan Bowles. That 25 stuck out there on the middle high lane. Little bit of a wiggle there off of turn 2. Is that going to be enough to let Jason Lowe slot through? No, it's not. Battle for the race lead still raging on between Graham Bunyan and AJ Burton. Burton able to go by Bunyan on the back stretch. Now Bunyan looking at the line. He got it. My goodness. Waited just until the right time, poked out and got that run to the line to cross the stripe as the race leader that last lap. And this battle just has not went away. This top 5 has been right there all over each other this entire green flag run. We are working upwards of 30 laps on this latest green flag run. We are on lap 68 out of 100 here for today's scheduled race distance in the Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 233 laps left to go. 32 when we cross the line this time by. Bunyan looking to the inside once again. Can he make the pass? Looks like yes, he does. He's now going to tie Robert Mitchell for the most laps led in today's race. And it looks like we've got multiple other drivers hitting pit road for their, well, what should be their second and final pit stop of the day. And a big run there by Jason Lowe. He's going to look for second on the outside of A.J. Burton, high, wide, and handsome, as Graham Bunyan peels off and hits pit road. That's going to put Jason Lowe to the top of the board. Down into turn one, leading this field, 31 laps left to go. Jason Lowe's got A.J. Burton in tow. Craig Forsyth right there as well. Down the back stretch, half a car lead for Lowe over Burton as Craig Forsyth loses a little bit of ground. Danny J on pit road now. Looks like Graham Bunyan just now returning to the racing surface. Still on the lead lap, but going to be put a lap down now. There you see Jason Lowe putting Graham Bunyan down one lap. And Jason, the only driver yet to hit pit road. I would imagine he's going to be looking to hit pit road this time by, as last time Craig Forsyth as well as A.J. Burton, both of those drivers hit pit road. And there you can hear the gearbox. Jason Lowe is hitting pit road. A.J. Burton, Craig Forsyth, Graham Bunyan, Ryan Bowles. Who's going to shake out as your race leader? We are watching Graham Bunyan right now as he passes Craig Forsyth as well as Ryan Bowles. A.J. Burton a little bit slower through the field on that pit stop. About 8 seconds longer on and off pit road. So a tough break for A.J. as he had trouble during what we like to call the money stop. And Graham Bunyan, with coming to pit road when he did, looks like he has got himself about a second and a half lead over his closest competitor. And there you see the pass for the race lead. Jason Lowe off of pit road. Oh, Graham Bunyan almost into the wall. Almost into the wall. Coming off of turn two was your race leader, Graham Bunyan. Jason Lowe now being scored in the second position, 1.3 seconds back. And he's got Craig Forsyth right there breathing down his neck. Right on the outside. Who's going to make the pass? Who's going to make it happen? And will these drivers attempt to line up and try to chase down your race leader, that 101 of Graham Bunyan? And the battle for second is going to heat. Oh, Ryan Bowles almost into the wall going into turn number one with a big run behind the 131 of Craig Forsyth. Those two drivers very close on exit of turn two. Big run down the back stretch by Bowles as he pushes Jason Lowe past Craig Forsyth. Bowles going to slot himself around Forsyth as well, put Bowles into third. And can this trio of cars slowly close in on your race leader? We're going to have to wait and watch. We're going to have to wait and see if they're able to make that run back up to the front, as Graham Bunyan now has a 1.5 second lead over second position. And A.J. Burton, your pole sitter, with some trouble on his latest pit stop. He's going to find himself all the way back in the fourth spot, almost 8 seconds behind your race leader, Graham Bunyan. Battle still raging on for second place. That is Ryan Bowles, Jason Lowe, and Craig Forsyth. Your race leader, Graham Bunyan, has the field well in tow. There you see him off in the foreground. 1.2 second race lead for Bunyan as he tries to click off these final 24 laps here today in the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. And man, oh man, unbelievably here, these drivers mixing it up just a little bit in this 3-car pack that we are watching right now with Ryan Bowles, Jason Lowe, and Craig Forsyth. These drivers mixing up the running order from second and third from time to time, and they are still able to run down your race leader, Graham Bunyan, right now. That lead has closed from 1.5 seconds down to almost a half a second. So these drivers over the last 3 laps have been able to close that distance, close that gap on Graham Bunyan, and we will have a 4-car battle for the race lead here, I would say, in the next 2 laps. So things are going to get interesting as we get to the closing stages of today's race. The Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200. We have ran 79 laps out of 100 under green flag conditions. We've still got 22 laps left to go. 21 when we cross the line this time, and the field is there. They have caught Graham Bunyan. Now Ryan Bowles looks to the inside. Craig Forsyth digging to the bottom as well. Jason Lowe going to be left high and dry up on the outside all by himself. Move him from second all the way back to fourth. I say all the way back, but that is only 0.3 of a second off of your race leader, Ryan Bowles. Now Craig Forsyth looking to the inside of Bowles through 3 and 4. Side by side off of 4. Whoa, big move there. 3 wide up front for the race lead. Almost contact between Forsyth and Bowles. My goodness, things are starting to heat up as we've got 20 laps to go. Whoa, there was almost some tire touching right there. 3 wide once again down the back stretch with Bunyan on the bottom. Bowles at the top, Forsyth in the middle. Whew, big moment late here in the race as Graham Bunyan shows some strength, flexes his muscle, and moves his way back to the top spot. Now, Ryan Bowles says, nah, not so fast, my man. Makes the pass going into 1 off of 2, secures that. As your top 4 now in the slipstream, trying to make a run back to the front. Looks like Graham Bunyan digs down to the bottom. He's going to make the pass easily, but Ryan Bowles going to have the momentum off of turn number 4. Back to the bottom. 2-car lengths separate them as far as the width. Nose difference at the line. Now side by side for second position as Ryan Bowles tries to assert himself as the dominant man out there. And this battle just isn't going anywhere. We do have a few other battles out on track that we would like to at least mention. Will Stearns is right there breathing down Mike West's neck. Howard Livingston running inside the top 10, running in 9th spot. He is right there all over Will Stearns as well. So 7th, 8th, and 9th right there with each other. But we're going to stay right here with the battle for your race lead as these top 4 drivers battle it out for supremacy with 17 laps to go. 16 laps when we cross the line this time to go in the Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200. And man, I'm curious to know how many different lead changes we have had here today. So I'm going to bring up a little graphic just because I'm curious and want to know. There you see it, 0 caution laps for, well, 0 cautions obviously. 21 lead changes. Seems like it has been a lot more than that as these drivers continue to swap the position 2 or 3 times on every single lap. And I have got to agree there, Dragon Racer 13, this is some great racing action. And just imagine, it has been like this the entire race, all of the laps under green flag conditions. And look at that, Jason Lowe with a move to the bottom and to the front. He's going to take over. Oh, contact between Bunyan and Bowles. Forsyth almost into him. No, that is going to hurt Graham Bunyan's chances here today, as he is now struggling to keep pace. Oh my goodness, trouble in paradise for Graham Bunyan, and he's going to spin it down off the racing surface. We're going to keep it. Oh no, caution has come out. My goodness, we'll have to back this up a little further, so stick with us here for our turn 3 replay. And not quite back far enough, so we'll go back a little bit further here. There you see, oh, the contact. Try to see one more time from the blimp cam if we can, if there was actual contact. Looks very close, and it was just disaster from there. Your race leader, Jason Lowe, skirted away from the field. He has since caught up with the pace car field under caution for the first time here today. And that helped Chloe be cancer-free Michigan 200. And we were so close to being able to pull off that flag to flag, green flag racing. But I mean, we've still got a few more laps that we can get a little bit more of those donations pulled out of the pockets from Jason Lowe as well as Howard Livingston. A ton of green flag laps. So once again, big shout out to both of those drivers for making a commitment of pledging $1 for every green flag lap run in today's race to go to the GoFundMe page, the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free GoFundMe page. And once again, man, I can't talk big enough about that. That is a heck of a pledge to give. And it's always good to see the drivers that have those kind hearts and are willing to help and go the extra mile, running good in those particular races. Jason Lowe sitting at the front of the field right now. So my goodness. Well, I'm sure the drivers do appreciate their Dragon Racer 13 for saying, you know, the racing's been so good that you almost forgot it was a sim. That lets these drivers know that the viewers watching, friends, family, appreciate what it is that they're doing out there on track. Lets me know you like what you're seeing as well. And once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us here today on Turn 3 Racing Network for the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. It is race number 7, Triple Crown race number 2 for the US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik organizers and fasteners. And if you haven't already, I'll tell you what, give it a thumbs up. Maybe click the subscribe. Go over there and smash that bell. Get notified anytime we go live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Tons of great racing action over the many different platforms here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. And, I mean, join us each and every Sunday morning for the US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik. As, I mean, they bring great racing action week after week here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Want to mention again, thank you to anybody and everybody watching that has went ahead over there to the GoFundMe link and donated, whether it's been a penny or $10 or $100. Every little bit helps. Every little bit counts. So much appreciated for all your help. Thank you so much. Not just from myself and the guys here at Turn 3 Racing Network, but also all the drivers here with the US IndyCar League. I know Chloe's family also going to give you guys a big thank you, and we just couldn't be happier to support a great cause for a great young lady and her family. Now, business is going to pick up. Pace car lights are off. 10 laps left to go here today in the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. Brought to you by US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik Organizers and Fasteners. And man, oh man, we're going to have 9 laps left when we hit the stripe, when we see that green flag fly. And I assure you, it is going to be 9 action-packed laps that we are going to have on our hands. So I do want to bring you as much as I can. So we'll go to a little bit different camera angle for some of the start of this final green flag run to the end. Single file restarts here in the US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik Organizers and Fasteners. So when that pace car goes to enter pit road, the field will be brought back to the green flag by your front runner, the man at the top of the board, the 004 of Jason Lowe. Field getting ready to go green. And we are back green flag racing once again at Michigan International Speedway for the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. Jason Lowe off to a great start, but he's got to be concerned about getting too good of a start, as that's going to allow the 25 of Ryan Bowles to close in down the back stretch, looking to the inside on Jason Lowe. Bowles going to go to the top of the board through 3 and 4. Now Mike West and his tin machine starting to close the distance, and Howard Livingston, a breath of fresh air once again for Livingston. He finds himself up inside the top 5, running in the 4th spot. Now Mike West to the point on the bottom. He goes by Lowe as well as Bowles. Now back down the backstretch, field snaking behind Mike West. Small battles all over the racing surface. We're going to stay up here with the battle for the race lead as we work 7 laps left to go here in today's race. Almost 3 wide. Mike West down there on the yellow line has Ryan Bowles in tow. Ryan now looking to the outside, just in front of Jason Lowe. Jason does have, I believe that is the 64 of Rick Lovison right there behind him. Side by side off of 4, back around through the trioval as Ryan Bowles tries to take away the race lead. Not going to, contact almost up into Jason. Big time maneuver, big evasive action. Now it's 3 wide for 3rd. That big moment there for Jason Lowe may have put him out of contention for the race lead. He's going to fall back to 7th spot as Ryan Bowles still tries to make his way around that 10 of Mike West. Right on the gearbox once again is Ryan Bowles as he tries to make his way by Mike West. Not having it just yet. Howard Livingston digging on the bottom, and here comes A.J. Burton through the field, looking to the apron, 3 wide, close quarters. He's going to make the pass, put Burton to the front of the field, and my goodness, Graham Bunyan, he's back up near the front now. Look at him slice his way through the field. 4 laps remaining here today in the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free, and we are side by side for your top 6 positions. Now make that your top 8. Down the back stretch, they are all over the place. 2-3 wide for second. Graham Bunyan right there on the gearbox of Ryan Bowles. Mike West still leading the field with the hard-charging 75 of A.J. Burton just to the outside of David Zaleski. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and Zaleski, contact. He goes through the grass. Oh, my gosh. Did he keep it off? Wow. I don't know how he kept it off of the track and we stay under green, but that was one heck of a save there by David Zaleski. My goodness, I know he's going to be disappointed, but, man, displaying driving skills like that is crazy. And unfortunately, looks like that 004 has a little bit of damage on that wing when that close moment between himself and Ryan Bowles as well as Zaleski was taking place. A little bit of right front wing damage to that 004, so he is now fell back to the 11th spot. 2 laps left to go, coming to the white flag. 1 lap left to go here today from Michigan International Speedway. Your race leader, A.J. Burton, but Mike West as well as Graham Bunyan right there in tow. Down the back stretch for the last and final time. Contact. Ryan Bowles with contact, and I'm not sure where Ryan went, but he has disappeared. A.J. Burton, your pole sitter, back to the line for the last time. Whew. What an absolute crazy finish to an absolute great race out there today. Every single one of these drivers drove their absolute guts out there, giving us a great Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200 today here on Turn 3 Racing Network as we watch the field slowly come to, I don't want to say come to a stop, but come back down pit road. We'll set things up here in the booth for your post-race interviews. My goodness, another great one in the bag from all of these drivers here at the US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik. My goodness, great show out there as A.J. Burton celebrates just a little bit. We're going to take a brief moment. We'll step away for a small commercial break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back with your post-race interviews here on Turn 3 Racing Network. thanks for staying with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And my goodness, we have got things set up for your post-race show, your podium drivers, all making their way up to the broadcast booth. And what a race we had here today for the Help Chloe Be Cancer-Free Michigan 200 here from Michigan International Speedway. Do want to take a few moments to point out a few things. We had a few drivers pledge $1 per green flag race to go towards the GoFundMe page there that you see at the top of the screen for the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free. And we had 95 laps of green flag racing out here today. So that is a testament to these drivers' skill. I mean, to go almost 100 laps flag to flag at almost 200 miles an hour the entire time is an amazing feat. Almost $200. What is that? About the $190 raised from those two drivers out there. Big shout out to Jason Lowe and Howard Livingston for making those pledges and donations. Hats off, gentlemen. That is very, very classy of yourselves. But we're going to get to a little bit of business at hand, if you will. We're now going to try to get in a few words with some of our podium finishing drivers. Finishing third here today in the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. Graham Bunyan, how you doing, bud?
I'm all squishy in the pants. My race suit is full to my boots.
Well, judging by the picture, I think that's the face from what you smell, huh?
Actually, that's pretty well, yeah, pretty spot on. Pretty spot on. Look, man, coming out of turn 4 there, and I believe it was Ryan that come up and we just sort of a bit of a shunt there, which then sort of put me up towards the wall, and then Craig come in behind and just launched straight over the top of me. I could see the car coming, but it was just wow. And of course, I had to go in the pits, and I hit the white line coming out of 2, and the back end was just so loose with no wing. It was just crazy.
Well, my man, you had issues, but you were able to come back up and still finish on the podium. You had a rough race last week, so does this put you in any better mind frame knowing that, well, I mean, you led the most laps, you just fell short on the race win, but does it put you at ease after a bad race last weekend?
Man, I tell you, look, I felt like I won. That to me was a win. To come back through with a broken car, I had no power. I was just running in 6th gear, hoping to get a lot of draft, and hope that nobody hit in front. So yeah, I feel like a win for me. A bit of a boost to the ego because it was pretty hurt last week, and so no, it's good.
All right, Graham. Well, once again, great talking to you at the end of one of these things. Again, before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, look, just to the podium, of course, AJ and Mike West, first podium. Whew. Well done. Also, this is for a very special cause for a good racing buddy of ours, which is Jason. He's got a very good friend whose daughter is having the battle of her life at the moment, and this is for a good cause. So this is for Chloe. Man, from Australia, I hope everything goes well. Also, sorry, one thing. Also, our sponsor too. Better thank them, which is StickQuik. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. That was your third place finisher for today, the 101 of Graham Bunyan, and we'll see if we can't now get in a word or two with your second place finisher for today's race, and that's the 10 of Mike West. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, my man. Great finish today. Led a couple laps out there, I believe, somewhere in the 5 laps or so led. So great race out there for you today. Walk us through a little bit of your race.
Well, our team just, we knew what lap we wanted to pit on, and, it was just a matter of hitting your pit stops and saving enough fuel to the end. And when I decided to stay out on 19 lap old tires, I thought, AJ and Graham are going to just fly past me. Just worked out.
Well, my man, however it worked out in your favor, walking away with a second place finish here today. Great job, Mike. Before we let you go, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Just thanks to the sponsors and thanks for the great teammates that I work with.
All right, there you have it. That was the driver of the Tin Machine finishing in second place here today, Mike West. And now we will head to your race winner here today. Get in a few words with AJ Burton. How you doing, bud?
Doing good, Dave. How are you?
Pretty good. Not as good as yourself, walking away with yet another race win, and yet another Triple Crown race win. So keeping your hopes alive at those extra 20 points, huh?
Yeah, I'm glad to still be in with a shot at that. I thought I'd lost it at certain points during this race. So, yeah, really relieved, if anything, to still be able to taking that home.
Well, man, talk us through a little bit of what went through your mind today. I mean, you walked away with the pole position. You had, I don't want to say some troubles, but you fell through the field a little bit. You had a bad pit stop, and then you were able to close in here in the closing stages. So what went through your mind all over, today's race?
So with the distance of the race, it was going to be touch and go whether you could make it on fuel flat out. So that whole first stint, I think you saw a lot of drivers were just staying in line, taking these, almost like you get a Daytona with just everyone staying in a line, nobody really making any big moves at the front of the field. And we were just making sure we could make it on the 2 stops, which we were comfortably able to do. So first pit stop went back a hitch, and then you saw in the second stint maybe 4 or 5 cars had broken away, the rest had dropped back. And then coming to the final stop, good on fuel, had set my numbers and everything, was ready to come in and hopefully race it out with Graham and the guys who were still up there. And I just locked a rear tyre as I came to slow to pit, and it got sideways and I lost about 6 seconds. And that lost me the lead group. And then, got lucky with the yellow late on in the race, and then I knew it was just, that was where I actually knew I'd probably had a really good shot at winning the race. I knew I could get some fresh tyres, drive really aggressively but really fairly, and quickly cut through the field, which I managed to do. And have to thank the guys who are out on track for giving the room to each other. I know there was a little bit of rubbing in places, but we largely made it through the field unscathed without a big wreck, and good job to Mike and Graham as well for getting through the field. I know Mike did that on old tyres as well, so that was really good.
Yeah, Mike did a great job on them old tires staying up there at the front. But you've been a man of your word, trying to go out and win every race that you can attend. You've been doing that so far. That's going to go a long way to help your chances in the points. Not sure it's going to be enough, but if you keep doing this, it might be.
Well, I'm certainly going to try. And like I say, if I win every race that I can make, and if I can win that Triple Crown, then maybe I've got a sneaky chance. But there's quick drivers here who'll be racing every week who'll bring home the second, third places, and it will make it too difficult even if I was to win every race I tried.
All right, AJ. Well, once again, man, congratulations on yet another race win here. Before we let you go and celebrate, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Just thanks to the guys who put the league together, Robert and everyone, the sponsors who brought on board, all the guys who made it a clean race, and hopefully we've raised awareness for the good cause we were racing for this weekend.
All right, well, there you have it. Your race winner the 75 of A.J. Burton. And just like that, well, we are down to not much left to see or deal with. Few of these drivers gonna start to hit pit road now. There you see them all heading off the track and into the paddock. And once again, I want to say thank you to every single one of these drivers for coming out and racing in this great race with a great cause behind it. The Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200. Want to give a big shout out to all the viewers, watchers, contributors there over at the GoFundMe page. You can click the link in the description of the video. You can see it on top of the screen right there as well. Head on over there. Any little bit helps, as we have done an amazing job. Thank you guys. Almost $400 raised for the GoFundMe page here today on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So I want to say thank you from myself, David Worrell, up here in the booth, and everybody else at Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you for the love, the support, the contributions, and don't forget to, not just today, maybe tomorrow, the next day, maybe go put another $2-3 in it. Every little bit helps along the way, every single day. So thank you once again to all of our great viewers, friends, and family out there watching here today. And that brings me to a little bit of business at hand. Once again, your finishing order here today for the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200, walking away with the race win, his second Triple Crown race win. Only one more to go for A.J. Burton and his 75 machine, walking away in second. The 10 of Mike West, rounding out your podium positions here today. The 101 of Graham Bunyan, finishing the day in fourth. The 131 of Craig Forsyth, and in fifth, the 16 of Ray Lenning. Sixth position goes to the 13 of Howard Livingston, while in seventh, the 24 of Rick Kelball. Eighth spot goes to the 15 of Danny J, and finishing ninth, the 64 of Rick Lovison. 10th spot goes to the 07 of David Zaleski, while in 11th, the 004 of Jason Lowe. Finishing 12th, first car, one lap down here today, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. 13th spot goes to the 31 of Robert Mitchell. 14th, the 306 of Will Stearns. And in 15th, the 19 of Chad Pierce. Finishing the day in 16th spot, 2 laps down, the 6 of Jeff Murray. And that, my friends, is going to be your finishing order for today's race. So once again, want to thank you for joining us here today for the Help Chloe Be Cancer Free Michigan 200 for the US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik Organizers and Fasteners. From myself, David Worrell, up here in the booth, and everybody else here at Turn 3 Racing Network, thank you for joining us once again on a great Sunday morning, and we will see you later tonight for some more on-track action here at Turn 3 Racing Network. And well, until then, we'll see you next time.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chole Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chole Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.